The Education Secretary chooses her milestones very carefully. She knows that this government will be measured on its promise made in 2016 to close the poverty-related attainment gap. So 8 years into that promise, how confident is she that that promise will be delivered by 2026?
Cabinet Secretary.
I thank Mr Rennie for his question. I think it is worthwhile pointing out the progress that has been made thus far in relation to closing the gap. I don't take away from some of the challenge, and of course some of that challenge is not of this government's making. But we have seen a narrowing of the gap in primary 7, for example, in literacy and numeracy in December statistics. We've also seen, though, progress in relation to our young people going on to positive destinations since 2009. The attainment gap has narrowed by 60% in that regard. And again, as I intimated in my initial response, we've seen really strong progress this year in terms of widening access, with a 12% increase in university acceptance for those from our poorest communities. I don't take away from the ongoing challenge here, but I do hope that Mr Rennie can recognise that progress. And of course, I would say that the financial context within which the government is operating is also relevant here, because if we continue to see an austerity agenda being pursued by the Westminster government, irrespective of party, that is going to hamper the progress I am able to make as Education Secretary, because I will have less money at my disposal to make the necessary progress we need to see in closing the gap.
Willie Rennie.
It does seem that the SNP government are focused more on finding excuses than they are on closing the poverty-related attainment gap. She's also incredibly selective with her statistics, and I know we all like to choose our own statistics, but she is going to be measured on the poverty-related attainment gap as set out by the former First Minister in 2016. So what does the Education Secretary say to those thousands of young people from disadvantaged backgrounds who the promise was made to them but has failed to be delivered so far?